What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. Now, I know I said we were done with Terron Armstead stories. I lied. All right, I just keep it a buck. I thought we were done, but I should have known when people retire, they go on media circuits and they do a bunch of other stuff. Terron Armstead is no exception. He went on the nightcap show with Ocho and Shannon Sharp recently, and these are all ex-football players, so they have all their war stories about what's your happiest play, what are you gonna do in retirement, biggest injuries, all that stuff that they talk about on football pods, which are awesome if you play football because you're like, oh, I remember those kind of things, right? And one of the things Terron Armstead talked about is what really made him retire because he had money on the table. He played well last year. Probably could have played another 2 or 3 years at a reasonably high level, but decided walking away. And for a lot of people who didn't play sports and nowhere near this kind of level, people wonder like, why would you leave when you have money on the table? I guess you get to live out your dream, and people will retire at 27, 28, 29. Like he made it into his 30s, so he wasn't that short in his career. But he talked about just the pain and the pressure he had to put on his body. And when he breaks it down, it makes a lot of sense why he had to leave the game. He said, I didn't see a practice field at all. And not because I didn't want to or the Dolphins just wanted me to rest. I literally couldn't walk. After a game on Sunday, I wouldn't be able to walk under my own power until Wednesday, Thursday. I was only able to play under the pain meds. I couldn't put any pressure on my knee. I was like, I can't keep doing that to myself. Yeah, man. It's when you hear that, it's like, wow. Because he's a big dude, right? Like, he's bigger than most real life people. And the idea that you play on Sunday, right? If you can't walk until Wednesday, Thursday, they only do walkthroughs on Friday, which means that Saturday comes, you're looking at filming, and Sunday you're playing. He's just not practicing between games. So the fact that he was able to be as good as he was shows you how his film prep had to be amazing, how he had to be engaged with the game. Because if you're not doing it for a week, you would think your game would just fall off, and it didn't. It was just he was either injured or not injured. But also, there's a lot of Thursday night games now. There's Friday night games. It's a lot of stuff going on. So imagine that Thursday night game, which is why I think a lot of Thursday night games aren't great. It's because guys aren't really getting remotely recovered until maybe Wednesday. And then you're telling me I got to play another game tomorrow? And some of these are divisional games. Some of these have playoff implications on the line. And you're like, hey, man, this is an inferior product. You see, like, a lot of people are, oh, may not play or, they're going to give it a go. Like, how much medication are they taking to go on the field? How many times are they being shot up just to try to walk out there because they know, hey, it's week 14, Thursday night game against a division rival. We got to win this game. We can't go down in division. I'll give it a go. Now, if both your knees are shot up, your back's shot up, you're taking God knows what for pills and trying to give it a go. And people are like, oh, the score was 17-13. What a BS game. It's like, hey, I couldn't walk 24 hours ago. Or I was borderline concussed, or maybe a low level concussion. I'm trying to give it a go. If we all remember, this is what happened to Tua a couple years ago. He got concussed Sunday, and we had the Thursday night Cincinnati game. And his concussion, they just said, oh, head, dinger, whatever. They kind of like, I think they said neck injury. They tried to like massage it away. He played on Thursday against Cincinnati, had a first drive or two that was solid. And when he got sacked the one time, he just he locked up. His body went into shock, and people were like, "Wow, why is that concussion so bad?" It's because he was just concussed 72 hours ago, and then he played again, but because they either I'm not gonna say misdiagnosed, but I think they underscored how important that was. He's not recovered. We're talking about your muscles and joints recovering. Your brain has to recover too, right? So when Teron said all that, it really put in perspective what these guys go through, especially in the trenches. O and D linemen, I mean, you're talking 300-400 pounds for some of these guys, and that's not too many 400-pound guys, but there's a lot of most of them are in the 300s. D linemen are 250 and above. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of muscle you're carrying. You're literally every play just going at someone and trying to move a person against their will. And so you're going in there, back shot up, knee shot up, on pills, on pain meds, and you're just like, oh, I got to play Miles Garrett this week. Oh, who's next week? Oh, Ed Oliver. Oh, who's after that? It's like it's just like, oh, Nick Bosa. Like every week you're going through this. So I totally get why he chose to retire. Good for him for doing on his own terms. He didn't retire when he was bad. He retired when he still could have played. He made a good amount of money. Shout out to you. But yeah, man, it really puts in perspective like what these guys have to go through, and it's a lot. Now I'm gonna get into some trouble for saying this. I want to make sure I say it the way I want to say it. I'm asking, could the Dolphins backfield with Devon Achane and Ollie Gordon III be a version of Sonic and Knuckles, which is Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery? A version. I'm not saying equal. I'm not saying we got to put them stat for stat. I think Jameer is better than Devon right now. And David Montgomery is obviously better than Ollie Gordon because he hasn't played yet. What I'm saying is what they bring to the table. Could Miami have a version of that? Right? You got your super fast, explosive, elusive receiver slash running back guy, and you got the, hey, we can only block up 2 yards, but it's 3rd and 4. We need you to go get 2 more yards. And that's what Ollie Gordon at his highest level was. If you've ever watched a Detroit game, I don't know all the extra yards David Montgomery gets, but it's way more yards than they blocked up. It'll be like, oh, that's a 2 yard carry, and then I'll see a 6 yard gain. It's like, where do you get 4 yards from? And it's just muscle. It's just grit. It's just dragging, right? Ollie Gordon at his best is a bell cow power back with a little bit of speed if he gets in the open field. That's his game. David Montgomery has had long runs, but he mostly is a between the line of scrimmage and like 30 yards. Like that's where he excels. Really good at you got to game tackle me. Jameer Gibbs is you miss an angle, house call. Devon Achane, don't get me started if you take a bad angle. You can take the right angle. I'm out of here. We know what he is. The difference is Devon Achane I think is a better receiver than Jameer Gibbs. So it may actually be more of a Reggie Bush, Mark Ingram kind of combination than a Jameer and David Montgomery, but some of y'all are younger, so you don't remember Reggie and those guys. But I think that's like the highest ceiling of what this backfield could be. If Ollie Gordon gets back to his form 2 years ago, then he is a 4.5 yard per carry, maybe 5 if we can block it up a little bit guy. And we know that Devon is 6.5 to 7 yards a carry. Like he's just that's what he does. And it's boom, lightning and thunder, right? Sonic and Knuckles. I think they could definitely do that. Now Jalen Wright is he's the wild card here because where does he fit in? He is bigger than Devon, but not as physical as Ollie. He's kind of the guy in the middle. I don't know where he fits in that scheme, and given the draft capital we put in him last year, I do think he has a role. I don't know how that works, but if we take Ollie and Devon, and those are the two guys that end up being the main two, I do think we can finally be good in short yardage, which we have not been. I don't know, 2 3 years where it's like, hey, 3rd and 2, we feel confident running it once. If we don't get it, we'll run it again. Like now, if it's 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, it's like maybe we should punt it. Like if we don't feel good about it. I believe that Ali, with the chip on his shoulder, he went from literally being a Doak Walker best running back in college to like the 10th running back taken. It's a big fall within a year. It's a big fall off between the two. I believe that he can be at his best a David Montgomery type. He's taller. He's a lot bigger dude. Montgomery's just I don't. He's like a muscle ham. He's like Maurice Jones-Drew with even more muscle somehow. He's just like a muscle hamster, which just has. Well, Doug Martin was a muscle hamster. Whatever. They're just hard to get down. I think Ali has some of that. We know Devon's a speed demon. If we can get that level of production where we hit you fast, like heavy, like we can do that 1-2 punch, it opens the offense up dramatically. And I think at its apex, that is a really tough combination for defenses to go against. And I think if Ali becomes what we drafted him to be, we could do that. So one of the biggest things Coach McDaniels talked about this year was allowing Tua to be more of a leader on the team. I believe up to this point, like again, most of the Kyle Shanahan disciple type people, the coach basically does everything and the quarterback executes what the coach says to do. So it's more like the coach is the genius and then the quarterback is an extension of the genius. But we've talked all this offseason that it's time for Tua to really just be like, hey, I got it. Obviously, Coach McDaniel is like the architect. He's doing all the stuff. But the way the Dolphins offense runs is there's a lot of stuff going on. If you watch, we have more motion than anybody else. We have people stopping and starting, resetting, other people stopping and going. And a lot of it is Tua directing people. Like he's like, you come down the line. All right, go back. Set. You come. All right, go in motion. There's a lot of pre-draft stuff. There's a lot of tricky ball mechanics. If you look at a lot of our handoffs, they aren't just like stretch handoffs where like the quarterback runs out with the old Peyton Manning where the arm goes straight out, where I'm showing you the ball running back, you receive it and take it. The offense is a lot of Tua taking the snap, looking left, and then handing it right. Some of it is actual like pitches where he'll look one way and actually pitch it. Some of it is turning your back, throwing it. Like there's a lot of intricacies of the offense that aren't throwing the ball down the field to Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. And I think that's the part where being just massively in control is what we see on the field. But the behind the scenes stuff is everything else in the offense, right? The quarterback's job is to know what everyone else is doing at all times. So if you have a guy going in motion and he's doing the wrong motion, or he's doing it too slow, or whatever, if that doesn't get corrected, everything else in the play falls apart. So what you may see on TV is a guy going in motion, kind of stopping and stuttering, looking around, going back, and then, oh, timeout. And you're like, oh, I wonder what that play was. But what happened is, if that person's in the wrong motion and Tua's not on top of him to get him back in place, and we can't get to the play, we burn the timeout because guys weren't doing their job. Some of it is team morale, right? You can have 2 or 3 bad drives in a row. This happens to every team. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. We're human. Players are human. They kind of get down on themselves. They're like, oh man, we can't. We're not moving the ball. Part of the quarterback's job is, hey, we got this. We can practice this. Let's go. Get your head up. Hey, let's get out of it. Let's try to know how to you change the morale of the team because it can go into the tank. And then just in general, being the voice of reason. You might have guys in the team beefing. 2 old linemen going at each other. You missed the block. You missed the block. We got to fight. Hey, cut all that out. We got it. I know. I believe in you. Hey, you got the block. You know what you're doing. We good. Let's get back on the field. That's the leadership stuff that doesn't really show up, I guess on ESPN or Fox Sports 1 or whatever. But that's what really takes a quarterback from this level to the highest level. We all know Tua can throw. Obviously. We know Tua's got a quick release. Obviously. We know he understands the offense. That goes without saying. It's the other stuff behind the scenes. Some of it is being vocal. I know when Tua first got drafted, they said he wasn't super vocal. He was more like a watch me play dude, follow my lead guy. Which we've seen that. It's like a Kawhi Leonard type guy in basketball. I don't want to be the rah-rah guy. I'm going to go out here and get 30 and 10, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and then y'all ride with me. Tua's like, hey, I'll go out here and make throws. You get to the spot, I got you with the throw. And that's great early on in your career because you're not asked to do much more than that. The longer you get in the offense, and now that Tua's more or less, he's a vet. There's guys on the team 5, 6 years younger than him now. So now it's not just can you do all the throws? Can you do all the play calls and do all that? It's can you keep the young guys head in the game? Can you make sure the older guys feel like they're still being empowered? Can you make sure the coach's message is getting disseminated the right way while also keeping the team at a nice level spot or raising them up when you need to be? And everything so far in the offseason is that Tua's really taking a big leap there. He's doing all the other stuff that we already know he does on the field. He's doing the other stuff behind the scenes, which ideally would translate back to the field. Having that respect of, hey, I got y'all. I very much believe O-linemen block harder when they really ride for the quarterback. I can't prove it empirically, but when your quarterback is that's my ride or die, I do think they go a little harder for it. I watch how Buffalo blocks for Josh Allen. I see what Baltimore does for Lamar. I see what Kansas City was. I don't know what they did for Mahomes this past year. But in general, they go extra hard. When you're their guy, when you're my man's, we ride for it. And part of that, you becoming my guy, is all the offseason stuff. That's why old quarterbacks always give their old linemen watches or really expensive gifts. It's hey, I know y'all do our dirty work and you'll get the respect. And we can't give you all the money contractually. Now, some of that's because they give me the money as the quarterback. But here's what I can do for you. Take your wives out to some trips. Here's some watches. Here's some dope shoes. Here's some custom-made merch. Let me make sure y'all boys is happy. So when the game comes, we got it. So as of now, coach is hey, Tua's taking the reins. He looks like more a leader. He's more authoritative. He's louder with his voice. His game has always been his game. And I like to hear that because that sounds like he's taking that next step up in his own personal development, which hopefully will translate to more success on the field. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all for the likes and subscribes. You guys are crushing it right now. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.